What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing in with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Gabrielle, a person I battled off my Discord server. So if you guys are interested in a Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle Discord chat room, a link to that will be in the description to all who are interested. Now today, me and Gabrielle are having an underused tier battle, as both of our teams are packing the fair and balanced Latias in the underused tier, and of course my opponent has to have Scizor, because a UU battle without Scizor is not actually an underused battle, is it? So I'm using a pretty threatening team. I have, Yanmega with, a Soft-Fast Tentacruel for rapid spinning, and, I have Balanced Latias with Weakness Policy. I have Nidoking and Arcanine. We're just gonna hop into this battle. Not gonna get too much into team preview, because underused team preview is like, okay, well, he has all these threats, I have all these threats. These are like the Pokemon that couldn't quite make it to overuse, so here we are in the overuse part 2. So turn 1, my opponent is up with the Shofu, as I lead off with my Yanmega, and I'm like, I'm not trying to take a Flare Blitz, so I bring in my Burless Babe here. I have Intimidate, and I should be able to just lower this thing's attack and pivot into it, even though I am offensive Arcanine. So I'm hoping I can take this Flare Blitz pretty well, because with the Intimidate I should be able to tank. But this Flare Blitz, Shofu's gonna hit and like do so much damage. I'm like, oh wow, that was a little bit too much damage for comfort, but whatever, we pivoted into it, which is good enough. And now I'm expecting my opponent to bring in the Water type or the Latias, so I decided to actually just go for Toxic, because I have Toxic on the offensive Arcanine, because I figured, well, the only thing Arcanine really can't hit is bulky Water types, and what does hit bulky Water types? Toxic. But if they sent out a Tentacruel, I'd be kind of screwed in that regard. But whatever, this Arcanine set, it was just experimental when Sun and Moon first came out anyways. I just never used this Arcanine set because, this nickname was too much for everyone to handle. But now I'm going to switch out and bring in my Feli just here, my Soft-Fast Tentacruel, expecting the Hydro Pump or Scald. But no, my opponent's like, haha, bitch, I'm smart. I go for Psychic and it doesn't even do half. And he's like, wait, that did nothing. I'm Specs Primarina, and I'm like, bitch, I'm a Soft-Fast Tentacruel. Sit down, you can't touch me. So I'm going to switch out now because I'm not trying to take another Psychic. So I bring in my Latias, who should be able to theoretically snack a Psychic. But then my opponent makes a smart play, double switching out into Shofu once again. But I should be able to face tank any attack Shofu wants to go for, but I don't want to tank a U-turn and activate my Weakness Policy too early on, because my opponent still has ways to outspeed me and ways to wall me, such as Scizor and Mega Sceptile. So I'm not trying to let that activate too early on. So now my opponent's going to U-turn out of here and bring in the Azelf, which is a very solid play, because now he's able to get free Stealth Rocks up, because he's probably Focus Sash on the Azelf, though I could be wrong in that guess, but whatever. He's gonna lay up the Stealth Rocks, and now I'm gonna go for the U-turn with my Yanmega. And I just realized my opponent's a female. Like, I gotta stop calling it a male, because I just faced so many males recently. Like, when Sun and Moon first came out, everyone was females, and then they decided to have like freaking gender transfer, and now they're all males. But there's still some females left in the community, such as Shaniqua. But yeah, now I'm gonna go for Reflect with my dual screen Klefki, because dual screens is actually trash, because Aurora Veils, people are like, oh my god, Aurora Veils OP, and then someone's like dual screens, and I'm like, what are you doing using that trash move, Light Screen Reflect? I spit on your dual screens. Aurora Veils OP though, oh my god. I don't know, I just think it's very funny how people are like, wow, dual screens suck, but Aurora Veils is just too good, man. I don't know, I don't see it. I'm gonna acknowledge that Aurora Veil is good, don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean dual screens is like trash. Like, it's the same shit, like, and they don't stack, but people like had the false knowledge that they do stack, and I knew they didn't stack, but then Pokegame's like, yeah, they stack, so I just assumed that they stacked. I'm like, maybe my life's a lie, they do stack, and then I'm like, they don't stack. I was right, I knew they didn't stack because I tested it when Sun and Moon first came out, but I thought I was wrong. I thought maybe, anyway, they don't stack, so if you were confused and thought that Light Screen Reflect and Aurora Veil stack, they do not stack, or at least on damage calculations they don't stack. But you can set them up both at the same time if you want to, but they won't do much because they're the same move. So yeah, I'm going to go for Rapid Spin here, because I'm trying to get rid of those entry hazards, because I have a Yanmega and an Arcanine, so it's just for the best. And yeah, now my opponent's going to go for Stealth Rocks, because she's like, wait a minute, you have Yanmega and Arcanine, I gotta keep these balance moves up on the field, and I'm like, no, let me use Yanmega in peace, and I just keep spinning until I die. Just keep spinning, just keep spinning. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And now my opponent's like, wait a minute, I'll just knock you out, and then set up Stealth Rocks, and I'm like, crap, she got me. So she's gonna knock me out with the knockoff, and now I'm gonna bring in Burless Babe once again, as I do have extreme speed, and I could just freaking speed blitz this Azelf, and then you can't set up the entry hazard, which will be good for Burless Babe and Yanmega. So gonna go for the E-speed here with my Burless Babe and knock out the Azelf, which is pretty good. No Stealth Rocks to deal with Burless Babe, so that's very nice. But now my opponent's gonna bring in Primarina, and I'm like, okay, Primarina is such a big threat to my team, but after Stealth Rocks and Spikes, I'm like, wait a minute, maybe my Z move will be able to knock him out. So I go for the Z move, Z Flare Blitz because I figure I'm like, well, if I'm using offensive Arcanine, then Z Flare Blitz should do a lot of damage, right? So I'm like, may as well go for it. So I go for Inferno Overdrive. It's just like a test moveset. I don't know what I was running with. It was like really weird. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the Inferno Overdrive with my Arcanine and just like obliterate this Primarina at that range of health. There's no way it lives that. So thankfully we're able to knock out that massive threat to my team, and the Reflect's going to wear off, which kind of sucks for me. But now my opponent's gonna bring in the Sceptile, and I don't want to lose my Arcanine just yet because I need it to be healthy for the Scizor, because Scizor, like I said earlier, is a fair and balanced Pokemon in the underused tier. So now I'm gonna bring in my Klefki because I should be able to like snag any sort of Sceptile attack, because Mega Sceptile, Stab, Grass and Dragon are like don't do any damage to Klefki. Hidden Power Fire shouldn't do too much damage, and so yeah, Klefki's just my best play overall. My opponent makes a smart play. She is reading me in this battle. She's gonna go for Hidden Power Fire, lower my health by a decent amount, but I should be able to tank 2 of them. But I do decide to actually go for Reflect here because I expected her to switch out. But she didn't switch out, so I'm like, oh crap. But she actually ends up going for Earthquake, expecting Light Screen, so I'm like, oh, get accidentally outplayed, bro. Or sis, I guess it's a girl, so get outplayed. And we're gonna set up Reflect, as Earthquake's going to not do anything, and now we're able to set up Light Screen. I don't have Play Rough, so I can't even do damage to it. I have already revealed my moveset. I have T-Wave, Dual Screens, and Spikes, because I want to use bad Klefki movesets. And yeah, Hidden Power Fire is going to knock out my low-key aids. And yeah, down goes my Klefki. If they, dual screen, Klefki is not bad because Prankster. So I mean, it's not awful. It's kind of, I could have used it a little bit better in this game for sure. But now I'm able to bring in my Spexion Mega once again. And Spexion Mega is pretty much free to click Bug Buzz. My opponent has no switch-ins. Like my opponent's like, Scizor resists Bug Buzz. I should be fine, right?
Nope.
Specs Bug Buzz does not have any switch-ins unless your name is Heatran. You're not switching in this thing. So thankfully Heatran is not in the underused tier this generation, but maybe in Ultra Sun and Moon or generation 8 we'll have Heatran in the underused tier. Keep waiting, guys, just keep waiting. But yeah, now I'm going to go for the Bug Buzz once again, as my opponent's going to throw a Bullet Punch at me. I Reflect up, so it's going to do 0, and now I'm able to go for Bug Buzz and just knock out the Scizor. So yeah, every time we're able to knock out Scizor without it able to like do anything to my team in the battle is like the greatest feeling ever. It's just a good feeling knocking out Scizor. So now my opponent's going to bring in the Shofu, and I don't want to get hit with all that. So I got to actually stay in here and get hit with all that because I don't have a switch in. I mean, Arcanine can switch in. I mean, I guess I could have switched in with Arcanine because Reflect, but I don't know. I just kind of misplayed there and just threw away my Yanmega instead of just sending in my Arcanine. But whatever. You can't play flawlessly every game. My opponent's actually playing pretty well this battle, so props to her. I actually like when I play competent opponents. But now I'm going to go for the E-Speed just because I'm adamant. I think this is going to knock out the Darmanitan, but Shofu hangs on. Whenever you name a Pokemon Shofu, they always perform miracles in the battle, and this Flare Blitz is going to do a lot of damage to me, but it should be knocked out with the Recoil. So no, Shofu actually lives with 1 hit point. That's pretty annoying, but whatever. I'm gonna go for the Extreme Speed once again and just knock out Shofu, and yeah, thankfully that threat is out of the way. So down goes Shofu, and now my opponent's gonna bring in the Latias, and I'm like, oh boy, the fun has begun with the Latias. So she actually greeds pretty hard here and goes for Calm Mind, expecting me to switch out, I think, but I'm like, I have no reason to switch out at all. I literally have 0 reason to switch out. So instead, I decided to go for Toxic, because Toxic will be able to just whittle his Latias' health bar down very slowly. And of course, it is the Calm Mind Latias. Probably has Z Draco Meteor with the Z move, because that is what everybody runs on Latias. As far as I know of, some people run Z Surf for like Mega Steelix and stuff, but like I'm pretty sure most people run Z Draco Meteor because it just is such a hard-hitting nuke. But now I decided to bring in my Latias here, expecting the Side Shock, and my opponent decides to go for Surf of all things. So I'm hoping that my opponent actually has Z Surf instead of freaking Draco or Z Draco Meteor, but I'm gonna scout for it here. I'm gonna scout for the Draco Meteor / Z Draco Meteor, so I decided to switch out here and bring in my Arcanine here as Death Fodder, and if my opponent goes for Calm Mind again, I'll be able to go for an E-Speed and just whittle its health bar down a little bit more, which will be good for me. But now my opponent does reveal to be the Z move Latias with Z Draco Meteor, and I'm like, oh my god, thank god I scouted for that crap. Because I need my Latias to be healthy, because my opponent still has Mega Sceptile left and Latias, and those are very powerful Dragon types. So I don't have any way to beat those Pokemon besides my Latias, so I gotta keep it healthy. And yeah, down goes my Verlis Babe to the Z Draco Meteor, unfortunately. And does get a useless crit, which is just kind of overkill, but whatever. But now, all I have left is my Latias and my Nidoking. So yeah, I'm in a quite disadvantage right now because my opponent still has Mega Sceptile in the back, and my Latias is a little bit weakened. So I'm gonna actually bring in my Drag King here. and I hope I can tank Draco Meteor, and I want to weaken this thing's special attack stats so we can just, you know, deal with it, right, and just toxic stall it a little bit. So Rui's gonna knock me out with the Draco Meteor, and down goes Nidoking, but at the very least Latias is at -1 special attack now, so I should be able to tank a Draco Meteor, or if I can win the speed tie, that'd be for the best, but I pretty much just put myself in the highest chance for me to win. Maybe just staying in and going for Dragon Pulse straight up was some better play, because it was a speed tie, but I do win the speed tie here. I go for a Dragon Pulse, knock out the Latias with Latias, because if you can't beat him, you gotta join him, right? And now my opponent's gonna bring a Mega Sceptile, and I'm like, okay, it all comes down to if I can live a Dragon Pulse. I think it's a roll, because I do have some HP investment on my Latias, so I'm hoping I can live this Dragon Pulse. I'm really hoping I can. Let's see if I can. Will I be able to live the Dragon Pulse?
Nope.
No. Mega Sceptile knocks me out, and that is going to be the end of the battle. We're going to lose 0-1 to Gabrielle, and I think it was a roll. I think it was more in her favor to knock me out, so it was still well played on her part, and she definitely deserved to win that battle. She played a lot better than I did in this game, so very well played by Gabrielle, and I hope you guys did enjoy this Wi-Fi battle. It was a little bit more try-hard than normal, but it's okay. That is the underused tier. Underused is like OU part 2, so it shouldn't be too surprising. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and want to support my channel, let me know by leaving a like on the video, as it really means the world to me. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite Mega Evolution to use in the underused tier at the moment? I know I've asked this question pretty recently, but with the new Mega Evolutions, you know, that were added to the underused tier, like Mega Gardevoir, Mega Altaria, Mega Latias, and other stuff like that, you know, just let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Mega Evolution is to use in the underused. And my favorite Mega Evolution, I don't really use Megas that often, but probably Mega Beedrill still, because it's literally like my mascot, and just Fel Stinger is so annoying, and just having adaptability U-turn is really annoying to play against for sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Mega Evolution is to use in the underused tier. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I'll check you guys in my next video. Bye.
See ya!